What is up, everybody? Good morning and happy 2026. This is officially the first show of 2026. I am Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co host, Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapachet. And this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you so much once more for joining us on this lovely Sunday morning that we are recording the first show of 2026. This is the first time you're checking us out. Welcome to Mad Boxing. If you are returning listener, thank you so much for returning and welcome back. So I hope you guys enjoyed last week's show. I wanted to do something a little bit different with the year in review, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I intend to do the same thing this year. Of course, we haven't had any fights yet. Well, we did have one last night, but I mean like major fights, right? That I'm going to be adding to the calendar for next year's, or I should say later this year, right? The end of this year, end of 2026, a year in review there. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a full year in the making of keeping up with my calendar and jotting the shit down. It's one of those things that I wanted to do for a hot minute, and I hope you guys enjoyed it because I sure as hell enjoyed going through it, and of course throughout the year keeping track of all the fights that happened. And if you guys liked it, by all means let me know. If you guys didn't like it, then it's like, hey, you guys are gonna tweak it up and change it up. By all means, we're open to listening, right? Um, but this is the first show of 2026, and we appreciate you guys stopping by and listening to us ramble about the inner workings. I know there aren't any like major fights, until like later this month, but that doesn't mean that there aren't any news. We're gonna kick it off on a bit of a sad one, unfortunately. We did. Oh, by the way, because last Wednesday, which is when we normally do our second show, was New Year's Eve. Obviously, we didn't have a show then, and unfortunately, between now and then, stuff happened. That we didn't have a show for on Wednesday, so we wanted to wait until today, of course, Sunday. The unfortunate news of Anthony Joshua having a car accident, a serious, very serious car crash, where, as I understand it, he wasn't driving, but unfortunately, he did lose two of his close friends, and which is extremely unfortunate. A tragic news, and a very sad way to kick off 2026. And if you guys watch all those clips, you see Anthony Joshua in a lot of pain. Right after the accident, being removed from the wreckage. Which, if you guys watched any clips or checked out any photos, that shit looks serious as fuck. Like, it looked bad, man. I mean, obviously bad enough, right? That two of his close friends lost their lives. So rest in peace to those gentlemen who unfortunately lost their lives. And it's a sad story, and really a really fucked up way to kick off 2026. I don't know. How this will affect Anthony Joshua moving forward? As I hear, he might already be in the gym, right? He's already in the gym working out, right? People have different ways of dealing with stuff, and hopefully, this he can he has the right people around him to kind of help him mourn and get through this tough situation. So condolences to the families of those who lost a loved one in this incident, in this tragic car crash, and of course also condolences to Anthony Joshua himself. Hopefully, there's some sort of brighter light at the end of this tunnel, and it's really a sad situation. Andrew, what did you think when you first took a look at one of these articles, announcing this incident, and as time went on, the details came out? What was the first thing that came to your mind?
I was shocked when I heard that the two lives that were lost were close friends to Anthony Joshua. Being in those big SUVs, you're hoping that it would. Not hoping is not the right word, but I just didn't think it was going to be Joshua's team
Mm.
that lost two members. I thought it was going to be the car that the Suburban went up against. Obviously, it always seems like the bigger car wins, right?
Mhm.
In this case, a lot hasn't come out on this accident yet, at least as far as what I've seen.
Mhm.
Um, there was one eyewitness that it has a video going viral, and unfortunately I cannot understand what the man is saying on the video. I don't know
Mhm.
if you've seen it, but it's very hard to hear or for me to understand what he's trying to describe on what happened. So I don't have a lot to give. It sucks for Joshua. Yeah, I don't, a strength and conditioning coach, and a best friend. Both of them are obviously friends, but I believe one was a childhood friend. The other guy is a strength and conditioning coach, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's
That
what I'm reading here. Real quick, it says,
okay, there you go.
um, yeah. So a Latif Adeli, sorry for butchering the name, a trainer. So that's a trainer, but then it says a strength and conditioning coach, Sina Shami. So I mean, one of those two was close childhood friends, right? I forget which one exactly, but those are the two that passed in the accident.
Yeah, no, it's a terrible situation. This yes, I did see the video of Joshua coming back, but I think it's way too early to for him to move forward. I think Eddie Hearn needs to be real careful about this one. And you know, if that means that they're gonna miss out on the Tyson Fury fight, then so be it. You know, it's not like Joshua is hurting for money, right?
Mm.
Let's end his career correctly. Uh, besides rushing him from a traumatic situation like this and getting him hurt in the ring. And to be honest with you, it takes away from the fight because we all know Tyson Fury is a good heart. He's got a good heart as a person. He's not gonna go hard on Joshua. Like this changes the whole
Mhm.
fight as of this moment. So if I'm Tyson Fury, if I'm Turkey, I'm gonna sit down and talk to Tyson and say, hey, do you have 2 fights left in you? If you don't, we'll move another direction. That's fine. You know what I mean? But if you do have 2 fights in you, let's go ahead. Let me exercise that other fight. We'll get you, keep you active. I'm gonna get Joshua a comeback fight, and then we'll try to do it at the end of the year, possibly. Um, it takes away from the fight as of right now.
Yeah, it really does because like you expect if there was Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury fight that Fury would go all in on him right during the press conference and stuff like that. But like how the hell can you do that? Now it looks like he's kicking a man while he's down, you know. So it's terrible looking. It definitely we don't. I mean, not to say that Tyson would do that, but it would suck for them to go that direction, and it's just not the time. You know, just let AJ mourn and do what he needs to do, and maybe have a comeback fight. You know, usually when they come back, they say, "I'm going to dedicate this one to them," and we don't want that fight to be against fucking Tyson, have it against somebody else at least. So yeah, sad story, and hopefully this doesn't derail. I mean, I know Anthony Joshua is in his mid 30s at this point, so I don't know how much more he has left, of course, after this, but you don't want something like this to derail the career, especially after coming off of that win, becoming, pretty much more of a superstar, at least well known here in the U.S., at least to young ladies. And then this happens to him that can keep him away from, the cameras, as unfortunately not being able to take advantage of what he did against Jake Paul. But like you said, there's much more. It takes away from that. There's much more greater things to worry about. Really, like you said, he's not really hurting for money, so it's not like he necessarily needs to rush to get back into the ring. And hopefully he doesn't at the end of the day, and he takes the proper time to rest and recoup, him physically and him mentally, of course, because he's going to go into that ring whenever he does, should he, I should say, with a heavy heart. So hopefully his mind is going to be in the right spot if he does decide to head back into the ring. And the only thing that can help that is time, frankly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you want to toss in anything else before we move on to the next one?
No, the only thing I would say is that maybe it gives them the opportunity to put him in Las Vegas at a Allegiant Stadium with the I'm going to say Wilder because Wilder has a right hand, but that's really all he's offering at this point in his career. So I would say even Wilder's on the table again if the Usyk fight falls through. I know Usyk and Wilder are trying to work a deal right now. I don't believe it's been finalized, right? That fight.
As I understand it, no, because that's part of the story. That's part of the
Oh,
the
there you
next
go.
story. Yeah,
Oh, there you
that's
go. Well,
thank you
that's
for
all I
that.
want to say then. Go ahead with the next story, bro.
Alrighty. So, a couple of things here. It starts with well, I guess an Anthony Joshua opponent, a former opponent, I should say, with Usyk, Alexander Usyk, who has decided to part ways with Turkey Al Sheikh. he has decided to not continue with him. I'm going to pull up this quick post here. So this is kind of a two-part story here. Alexander Usyk has split up with Riyadh Season, fronted by Turki Al-Sheikh. Three fights were there. Two Fury bouts, all of them for the belts. Usyk's team confirmed his next fight will be promoted by a U.S. based group with I can't pronounce it. This is I think is like his one of his managers or the manager, Aegis Kilmus, saying talks are already moving fast when the checks slow. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, so he's thinking. They're saying the next name on the list, Deontay Wilder, April or May 2026 here in the U.S. Wilder is one of the biggest names, or this is when his manager is talking again. Usyk has never faced in the U.S., and making it, of course, in the U.S. makes it more interesting. So it seems as though Usyk's relationship with Riyadh Season and Turki Al-Sheikh has officially ended, and he's moving now. If I remember correctly, Usyk was a Top Rank guy, right? I don't know if he still is with Top Rank. I could have sworn he was still with Bob. Even working with Turki Al-Sheikh, he was still with Bob, at least to my knowledge, to a certain extent. I don't know what the full contract was, but I remember him being Top Rank guy for a hot minute, and I have to assume when he decides to fight here in the U.S. again against Wilder, it's going to be with Top Rank, because just specified it's going to be with a U.S. based group. I'm assuming that means Top Rank, but they didn't mention it here. Could be somebody else. The fact that they didn't mention Top Rank, maybe they're talking about someone else. I don't know. ABC. Like, I don't know. Who the fuck knows? But anyway, apparently this is it. For the time being, at least, Turki Al-Sheikh and Usyk are no longer working together. I hope that's not like, I hope things were amicable, I guess I should say, because when Turkey doesn't get his way, he doesn't like that shit, right? And that's not cool. And Usyk is not the kind of guy who, at least from the outside, obviously we don't know him personally, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy who would try to fuck you over, and I don't think he was trying to do that to any degree with Turki Al-Sheikh here. But hey, the relationship ended, right? Or at least the business relationship ended. Seems like it was amicable. It wasn't like it was some sort of, I have yet to see anything from Turkey himself saying like, "Oh, fuck this guy" or some bullshit like that. Like the kind of things that. Oh, yes.
I thought the second story was the response. They already responded to that.
Oh shit! Who's they? Turkey?
Turkey and Usyk. Usyk did too. And they said that it was BS. That everything's fine in Riyadh. So I don't know. Yeah. I thought that was the second part. My bad, bro. I would have stopped you a little while ago. I didn't want to interrupt you, and you'd be like, Andrew, that's what I was going to say. And be like, oh, my bad.
Oh, no.
I heard you. When you said they didn't respond, that's how I was like, uh-oh, yes, they did. They did respond. Usyk said that everything's fine. Everything's fine with him in Turkey. There is no
split.
Yeah, no split. Does that mean that his next fight is going to be in Riyadh? No, it doesn't. There could have been a miscommunication there. Maybe that's not what they were trying to say over the phone. But they did mean when they said their next fight will be in America with an American-based promoter. Because I do think we all know that he did want to fight Wilder. That's a fight that Usyk desires, because Wilder's one of the big of the, 4 big heavyweights of that era, and he never faced them. He wants to face them, so now they'll do it. So yeah, it might have just been a miscommunication over the phone, possibly when they were doing the interview.
Gotcha. A miscommunication between us. Goddamn it, I'm over here not even realizing, like, oh shit, I haven't heard. Like, oh no, yeah, they did. Oh fucking hell. Breaking news, everybody. No, but I like the fact that they're talking about April or May. You know what? I might as well just I wouldn't be mad if they decided to wait till May to do a Cinco de Mayo type of shit, right? I mean, I know somebody else might do it. We might see Zurdo or fucking Benavides or something like that. I don't know. Of course, this is kind of up in the air. We're at the beginning of the year, so we don't have anything solid yet. But it would be kind of cool to have a heavyweight bout like that. And look, even if Wilder is on the downside of his career and he's not, the bronze bomber as he was before at one time, I think it would be a fun fight to see it. Like who doesn't want to see two heavyweights throw down? And at this point, it's obvious that Usyk would be the heavy favorite, and he'll come out of that fight victory. But you never know. Maybe one of those right hands lands, and then it'll do some damage. But um, to have a heavyweight fight like that, to two dudes that are going to throw down, on Cinco de Mayo weekend, we're going to watch it. And if they do it here, like, I don't know if Allegiant Stadium would be the place to do it. Maybe they would do T-Mobile, because I suspect that Allegiant might be a little bit too much, although it seems fit, for a heavyweight championship fight like that. But yeah, I mean, that would be pretty dope. I'll be down if they do that for May, for Cinco de Mayo. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, most definitely. I can't believe I didn't send it to you. I'm sorry about that, bro. That's what I'm checking right now. I can't believe I don't send some of these things sometimes.
Sometimes I forget to like stuff. Like, I'll read it, and then like my Instagram will refresh for whatever reason. I'm like, fuck, I didn't even double tap it fast enough. But it's no biggie. But as long as we got the facts straight, that's what I'm trying to say. Whether it comes from you or comes from me, I don't want the show to end and then I'd be like totally oblivious to the fact that they already responded to one another. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. So yeah, I mean, I like the fact that Usyk is going to stick with the Rehab thing because they already have something built there, and really Wilder's only one fight here in America, right? The thing for Wilder now is who's going to give him more money, and this is where having multiple promoters in boxing is a good thing, and not just one headquarters or promotional company, right?
Yeah.
So
One dog on the street. That's not a good thing sometimes. When there's competition, there's good stuff.
because I absolutely think that Anthony Joshua versus Wilder can bring in just about as much money as Wilder versus the undisputed heavyweight champ of the world right now, which is a crazy stat, but I think it holds water. I really
Wait,
do.
one more time. Who?
I think Wilder versus Anthony Joshua, Allegiant Stadium, makes just about as much money as Wilder versus Usyk and Rehab.
I might go a step further and say I might do more. I
Right.
mean, the fact that
won't lie.
AJ is kind of
All right.
exploded, right? The fact that AJ sort of kind of exploded here in the U.S. I think for the most part, Wilder is somewhat known here in the U.S. Usyk still kind of isn't. I mean, we know him obviously, but like he doesn't have that same
Right.
reach, right? And that Wilder has had for a while, and AJ just recently experienced. Damn, that'd be a serious one. That's a
Yeah,
tough
no,
one.
I definitely would not argue that it would make more money, especially because of the success that Anthony Joshua had, and Wilder does have a decent fan base through the PBC market. Wilder has an option. Who would have thought that in 2026, huh?
Yeah, wouldn't that be some shit? Like, if people still wanna, and then like, I don't know, man. There's gonna be like a little mini bidding war. It's like, well, who's gonna pay me more? I'll go over here with AJ, or I'll go over here with Usyk. Of course, knowing to some degree Wilder is gonna want to fight Usyk, I think, because it's for the belts, right? It's more significant if he does come up with. Let's say he fights Anthony Joshua and he beats him. It's like, oh shit, it's a major upset, but he doesn't have the belts. He doesn't take away someone's undefeated record. He does that with Usyk though. So I suspect that he might lean towards fighting Usyk anyway. It's a crack at the belts, the lineal championship, take away his undefeated record, and become hot shit again. Basically, it's like, I'm back, right? Bomb squad, right? That shit, right? He's back with that.
Possible. He's also very old. We're talking about money here. It's where Anthony Joshua is in his boxing life, not his personal life. But in his boxing life, he has a win versus Jake freaking Paul right now. So I believe if they're to offer him, 20, 25 million guaranteed to take on Anthony, the better option is to fight Joshua right now, because you're going to get paid twice. It makes the fight with Usyk even that much bigger if you're to beat AJ, right? So you get double paid. And if you lose, not too many were going to have you beating Usyk anyways, right? So you still got paid, and you almost killed two birds with one stone. That's what he's going to try to do here when he takes on AJ, and then to try to beat AJ and take on Usyk. So I like him going after AJ first. Um, it's just about the money. I think the money's there. I think Wilder definitely has an option here on who he wants to fight, and maybe that's why Usyk responded with, "Wait, wait, 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 wait. There's no problem." He got the response to the, "Hey, no, add a zero to that fucking offer you guys had me. Better add some money to that because Joshua just called." You know. Um. So yeah, no, most definitely he's got an option, and the heavyweight champ. Hey, maybe this is where those belts are gonna bite them in the ass for saying they don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Can't use it as leverage when when you said they're worthless.
Right. Yeah, you can't be like, "Hey, you wanted these belts?" Like, no, you just told me they were shit. So no, I don't. No, I don't. This would this be? I mean, I guess AJ's fight with Jake Paul is the primary reason that the fight was on Netflix. But could AJ be the key for maybe Wilder to fight on Netflix? Like, do you think he could, if they do some sort of AJ and Wilder fight? I don't see. I mean, and again, I don't know, but if Wilder goes down the route of Usyk, I don't see that fight being, for free on DAZN or Netflix. It's gonna most likely be fucking pay-per-view, I assume. But with AJ, maybe that would be on Netflix for free. I mean, maybe AJ, it's cool with fucking uh, Jake Paul, and it's like, hey, dude, let's we saw the numbers we did before. We can do it again with these guys. Although it wouldn't involve Jake Paul directly, but that wouldn't be a bad idea, right? If they get Wilder and AJ on Netflix.
It matters how much Netflix is looking to expand into boxing, but definitely, I mean, right now everything they've laid on their network has responded with great numbers boxing's never really seen before. I mean, I'm sure they can argue some of their viewerships has already trumped boxing's last 35 years. Their total numbers in their first year. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how bad we were doing. And that 108 million views for Tyson, it's a pretty good jump start.
Yeah. No, yeah, that makes a lot of
out
sense.
a few decades right there, Miguel. Was like, fuck, 108 on night one? Fuck. Everybody else had it. So, it matters how far they want to go. Like, if I'm Netflix, excuse me, I don't know what I got caught in my throat. If I'm Netflix and I'm looking to get further into boxing, maybe I do a warm-up show. You bring AJ back with Wilder, right? So now you don't have Tyson. You don't have the Tyson. You don't have the Jake Paul effect, right? Now this is just boxing straight up.
Yeah.
Let's do an AJ fight. He's hot right now in America. We know he's a legend in the UK. Let's bring him back and do a warm-up show and see what those total views do, And if he's getting 5 million, 2 million hits on his half an hour fucking warm-up shows, and then gets 50 million, 40 million, 50 million on the night that he fights Wilder, I can't see how Netflix doesn't expand more into this sport. It's a sleeping giant.
I don't remember if we got. I mean, I guess we haven't looked at it, but what kind of Netflix numbers we got in the UK, or I don't say we, but because that was kind of part of the equation, right? It's like it's getting Netflix people up there, or more people interested in Netflix because of Anthony Joshua, or more UK fans, I suppose. I guess I should say, but I don't know if there are any numbers on that specifically or right offhand, but I guess to more to have Anthony fight somebody like Wilder, who they've been kind of circling one another because of how long they've been on top, but haven't actually met in the ring. There's a lot of appeal to that, and there's always goes back to, we know English fighters, fans want to see their guy whoop American fighters' asses. So I assume this is going to go down that line. But
so when I look up, it just says global viewers was 33 million average minute per minute audience. No, and the UK performance was that it ranked number 1 in programming on Netflix in the UK.
All right.
So it must be a positive sign if it got number 1, right?
Yeah. Well, Well, I'm down with that. I'd be down with that one instead. But really, either one of these, I mean, there's still some interest in Wilder in either one of these guys, either Usyk or even AJ, if they're going to go down that direction. But
Here's
um,
another one, Miguel.
yeah,
It reached the top 10 viewership in 91 countries for Netflix that night.
damn, man, that's a fucking trip. Wow. Yeah, I can see why that made AJ a fucking star, right? At least here in the U.S., I suppose. Wow. All right.
One social media, it generated 1.25 billion impressions on the Netflix global channels, with the knockout clip being the most viewed event clip ever.
Shit. Wow.
He'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah. Leaving too much money on the table to not come back, quite
He's a
frankly.
sleeping giant. I'm telling you, you guys.
Mm,
We used to have a king of the sports, right? It
mhm.
used to be king. I think there's a lot of closet fans that like seeing good boxing still. If you have it on a platform that can reach those closet fans, they're not going to go looking for it.
Mhm.
But if you reach it, get to them, they'll watch. They'll absolutely watch.
All right. Well, that one I'm down for. Anything else you want to add on to that one before we move on to the next topic?
No, sir.
All right. Any other information you want to hit me with? No, I'm just kidding. All right. All right. So this one kind of threw me off because I hear Eddie Hearn talk about Bam Rodriguez in very very high regards, and rightfully so. But it looks like we're not going to get a um, a renewal of contract here. Bam Rodriguez will be considered a free agent here very soon. According to reports, Jesse Bam Rodriguez is a free agent while on the hunt for his next fight at the prime of his career, nonetheless. Bam's deal with Matchroom Boxing has expired. Oh, shit, officially already. Okay. But so has Matchroom's exclusive negotiating window to bring him back, making him available to any and all bidders. If you guys are unfamiliar with how that works, basically, after the contract expires, there is a certain time window, depending on the contract, where the Matchroom has the option of matching any offers that he's getting from somewhere else, or even surpassing if they want to go that route. It looks like even that time has expired. So not only has, or I was going to say Top Rank, Matchroom said, all right, we're not going to renew this contract, but they didn't even bother trying to match anything. From what I can tell here, it doesn't mention if there were any other offers from other promoters. But let me continue to read here. The lineal bantamweight champ. That's not bantamweight champ. What, he's like Superfly. Oh gosh. They have bantamweight champion here, but he's not. Anyway, talking about Bam, of course. Super flyweight, is allegedly still happy with Matchroom and plans to speak with them before looking elsewhere. Rodriguez is fairly fresh off of his very convincing KO victory over Fernando Martinez, as well as being ranked number 3 pound for pound fighter in the world by Ring Magazine. All right, so his contract has completely expired. Even the matching, there's another term that's like a matching time frame or whatever, right? Even that has expired as well. But according to this, Bam seems to be pretty pleased with how things were with Matchroom, and intends to speak with Matchroom and Eddie, I'm assuming, to try to see if there's anything else they can work out to continue the partnership there. But it looks like officially, at least legally speaking, Bam Rodriguez is a free agent. Does that come as a shock, Andrew? Were you surprised when you read that?
Uh, I am, and I'm not. I'm not as shocked that he's leaving Matchroom. I am shocked that the rumors aren't already circulating on who he's talking to about signing because of his talents, right?
Mm.
This has to be a money issue where it's possible the weight class just isn't bringing the demand that he's asking for. Because you would think Bam Rodriguez at 25, 26 years of age is going to be one of the best fighters in the world for the next, what, half a decade,
Yeah.
if training right, with the upside of possibly moving up 2 divisions and taking on a global figure in a way, and making huge money for your promotional company. There's so much there. How could they let him walk?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it has to be the demand that Jesse's asking for. they're like, kid, you got to leave some money on the table for us too, right? We're the ones investing. We help build your career. But if he's asking for, money that eats up everything, there's nothing you can do. You have to let him walk. And he'll learn because he's going to go to some other guy, unless it's Riyadh, where they seem to write any check.
Right.
Um, he's going to come back. This is where they go. They see themselves on the market, and then they come back.
Okay. All right. Well, funny that you mentioned that, of course, because there were some. If you remember, after the what is it, the Inoue's recent fights, right? He says, we'll see you soon, right? I mean, that's exactly the direction that they're going. This is what we're thinking. This is Robert Garcia actually responding, saying, "We'll see him soon." You know, that knowing that Inoue is with is their top rank, but also working with Riyadh, you would think that they would be that Bam will be sticking around with Matchroom because Matchroom is on DAZN, and DAZN, of course, is partially at least owned by Turkey and Riyadh Season, right? So seeing this, it kind of throws me off. I'm not entirely sure where else he would go. Like, he can work with Riyadh. I'm talking about Bam a lot easier if he just sticks around with Matchroom. I don't see why Matchroom wouldn't have wanted to. I know, like you said, the money, but is it really that? Do you think that's what it was? You think that's
Has he been?
Bam asking for that much more money? Huh?
Has he been with Matchroom his whole career?
Man, he's been with him for the majority of his bigger fights, but I can't say his
because
whole
I
career.
don't want to say the company I think he should be with, and then go and look. I should probably Google it, but whatever. I was being lazy, just seeing if you knew. I'm gonna say Golden Boy, bro. And the reason why I'm gonna say Golden Boy is because I don't think there's a promoter that's done bigger for Mexican fighters in the last 20 years than Oscar. Oscar's gotten a lot of names, Mexican fighters up the rankings into pay-per-view fights, win or loss. A bad thing is they're not winning when they get there. Your
Mhm.
Gilbert Ramirez's, your Ryan Garcia's, your Munguia's, but he gets them there. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I really think Jesse probably wants to go and talk to Oscar. Oscar's tapped in. He has the market. He can create the buzz. The fight in a way becomes bigger. Um, that's with me not knowing if they've already worked together. Oscar might have worked with them early in his career and blew it off, right? He's like, nah, dude fucking calls me at 2 a.m. with some crackheaded shit.
Right.
Because I do believe those phone calls might happen.
Right. We suspect at some point one of his fighters is like, "What the fuck, Oscar? Like,
Once
bro, it's
he
3 a.m."
once you get close enough, you will receive a phone call at.
Right, right, and more than one. But when I see this from Robert Garcia himself, which is Bam's trainer, saying we'll see him soon, it alludes to a potential fight, in the very near future with Inoue. But considering, and I took a screenshot of this. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But we know that Golden Boy's deal with DAZN might not be renewed in 2026. I think it ends later on this year. So if Golden Boy and Oscar leave DAZN, do you think they'll have a harder time getting that fight with Inoue? Because if they work with Inoue, they're going to have to work with Riyadh, right? There's where the money is. They're the ones that are signing the checks. We've seen or have heard Oscar kind of step away from Riyadh and Turkey Al Sheikh saying, like, I don't know if we want to work with these people anymore, kind of thing. So do you think him, Golden Boy, I'm saying, and Oscar leaving the zone will make it harder for this? I mean, at this point, it's not like Bam is with the Golden Boy anyway, but if Bam steps back, right, and he doesn't sign and he doesn't continue with Matchroom, is it a bad idea to go with Golden Boy, considering Golden Boy is kind of already starting to, build a wall between him and Riyadh?
No, no, I don't think it'd be a bad idea because we have Netflix in play. You have Al Heyman, the PBC market in play. Um, so no, I think you can still go to Oscar and find a platform for a fight. And I don't think that His Excellency is a dumb man. Like I said, I don't really know what's going on about because Jesse's so talented He's got such a large resume at the age that he's at. There's such an upside, Miguel. What the hell is stopping these guys from pulling the trigger and putting the whole thing behind them? Right? Like, no,
Mhm.
you know what? If you guys are moving up 2 divisions, you're skipping a division, meaning those 10 fighters could all potentially face you. I'm just saying, I know they won't, but you're looking at the big picture here, right? He's
Mm.
skipping a division at 26 years of age to take on the king of the little men's divisions. There's such an upside. He's already on the pound for pound ranking. Where does he go if he beats Inoue? Where does he go, people? He's already on it. He goes
Yeah.
#1.
Mm.
There's such an upside. What is it that what is making Matchroom go, you know what? Why don't you go see the market? Why couldn't Eddie Hearn convince Turkey that you need to sign this guy? Now, this might be the TKO effect. Maybe Turkey's like, hey, I can't because I'm building this thing over here where I'm trying to groom these new guys that you're not going to make 20 million a fight or 10 million a fight. So I don't want to sign Jesse. I don't know, because you would think it'd be in Turkey's best interest to get this young man on the DAZN stable.
Do you think there's a possibility that it's Matchroom kind of hurting, for money? Like they're like, damn, I don't know if we can go that far. Like you're asking for a little too much, dude. I don't know if we can fucking match it. I don't know if we can maybe get Turkey to foot the bill for the rest. I don't know, but we hear, Matchroom is in serious fucking trouble at times, and then DAZN directly through them, DAZN at least. But I don't know. Could that be an issue? Could that be Matchroom maybe like, fuck, man, I don't know if we can fork up the cash for this.
It's a clear sign that someone's running out of money. I think I've already explained why, all the reasons why they should be throwing the bank at this kid. So what other reason could it be that they're not doing it besides they don't have it, right?
Mm.
They don't have the upfront cash. They probably got a lot of promising, right? Work with us and we'll give you a percentage of whatever comes in. And the Rodriguez team is like, nope. Because to be honest with you, this is a great time for Jesse to get a big contract. He's at the age, he's at the right moment in his career to make a jump to like really cash out. Because once he beats Inoue, now he's the big guy down there. And to be honest with you, the Mexican market will tap into Jesse if, as long as the big machine is behind him. We have no problem watching little fighters. We've been doing it since Ricardo Lopez, Chiquita Gonzalez, Michael Carbajal. And I know I can probably go further to our grandfathers' eras of them
Mm.
watching little fighters. You know what I'm saying? But this is not new to us. You know what I mean? Manny Pacquiao, Morales, Barrera, they freaking took it to the limits we had never seen before. I think Pacquiao and Marquez was the first one to make $1 million or something like that at 130s. And I know Jesse and them are smaller than that, but I'm putting all the little guys together, right? Because it was
Sure.
like, it's like 147, I believe, and up is where the money really changes. Even back in the day, everyone else was just considered too small, right? But that has all changed. All of that has changed. I mean, Chavez used to go up against Mike Tyson on his pay-per-views. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
the Mexicans will tap into the little guy. Jesse's at the prime age and the right time in his career to put some money behind. If I'm the Rodriguez team, I'm not going until I'm happy with the contract, because he is that guy.
Yeah. And so, Eddie, DAZN, I know you guys are watching. By all means, throw the bank at this guy, because it'll be in your best interest in the long run to secure somebody like him. And hey, Oscar, if you're listening, actually I know you are. Maybe this is your chance to throw in another name. I know not as big as fucking Ryan, which we'll talk about a little bit later on, popularity wise, but he can get there. He can get there because the hardcore fans will tune in, especially when it comes to the smaller guys, which I myself love watching. I've been to a couple of the Superfly cards that HBO had towards like the last year of their existence, and those were fucking bomb, man. I love them shits. And I did drive to Texas to watch one of these fights. I think it was supposed to have been Chocolatito and fucking Estrada, but I think Estrada got hurt or something happened. I think he got COVID or something like that, and they ended up throwing in somebody else. But anyway, oh shit, I just hit my desk. But I've watched these fights, and I love watching them, and hopefully they have more of a bigger appeal if they can get them on if we can get something like this going, something like Inoue and Bam, hopefully we can get a crack a lacking. But definitely a bit of a shocker when I read that. I was like, man, what wouldn't Matchroom be throwing the fucking bank at this young man? But
I mean, just a quick breakdown of the bantamweight division, the one that he's skipping. They have 4 Japanese fighters in the top 10. Those would probably be all good hits for Jesse if he really does take Inoue out, right? Because then you can match him up with any one of these guys that come out the winner of that division. Two of them are undefeated, and then you have a Jose Salas Reyes from Mexico, Tijuana. He's 17-0. He's only 23 years of age. He can grow into a potential showdown with Jesse, right? And then you have David Contreras, Cular, 29-1 from Mexico. I'm probably saying that last name wrong. Cuellar, you know who? I think you know who I'm talking about. David Cuellar, is that how you say it? But 29-1. 29-1, dude. Another potential. Like, you see what I'm saying? He's skipping those guys.
Yeah.
One of them come out undisputed. You have another huge fight with them moving up. There's so much upside to Jesse. I don't understand why he's on the market this morning. It's kind of insane that if I'm Turkey, I'm calling Matchroom and asking what's going on. Because I don't even know does Turkey want to be a promoter where he's taking up contracts like this, or is he just an events guy where he wants to buy fights, put fights together? I don't really know what they're trying to do over there. Like, I know for a fact Jesse don't want to sign up with Dana White. He's past the Dana White project, right?
He's past the Dana White salary cap.
Okay,
not, pretty much, right?
Yeah, so he has to be past that one. So what other venture is Turkey looking to get into in boxing? Because if you're looking for a face of your pro boxing stable, whatever the fuck we're doing over here in Riyadh, well, there's your little guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think they just scoop him up at this point, but yeah, interesting. We'll find out more about it as time goes on here. But I read the article, or not the article, but this Instagram post. It doesn't specify how long this matching period was, but I know it already expired. And whether or not Bam or how soon Bam intends to talk to Matchroom and Eddie and see if they can come to some sort of deal. But oh well, they can't. That's life, right? Say la vie. I guess he's on to things, hopefully. And Oscar, if you're listening, that would be you. All right. So this other one here, this one is man, I don't know. Fights are falling through. What the fuck? Apparently, we will not be getting Pacquiao and Roly Romero. Now, this one kind of sort of has a two-story type of thing, right? Because of some development that we have read recently. But let me just read this here real quick. This was off of the Ring Magazine, The Insider Show. Manny Pacquiao's proposed fight with Rolando Roly Romero will not be moving forward, Mike Coppinger has revealed on Inside the Ring. The Ring reported in October that Pacquiao would once again challenge for a 147-pound world title with a fight with Roly Romero targeted for January 6th. Romero currently has a WBA mandatory obligation with Shakram Gayasov, if I'm pronouncing that properly. So I highly doubt that a mandatory challenger is the reason why this fight isn't going through, but it may very well be because WBA has, Roly Romero has a WBA belt. If the WBA was stupid as fuck and they're like, hey, no, you got a mandatory. If you're going to fight Manny, we're taking the belt from you. Well, Manny wants the belt, so that would make sense. Like maybe why the fight fell through. It's like, okay, if the WBA doesn't want to sanction this fight, then why the fuck are we even here? From Manny's side, at least, thinking I want a challenge for one of the belts, and if it's not going to be on the line, well, then fuck off, Romero. At this point, it's over. But it could be many more things. But Andrew, are we kind of bummed out that this fight didn't go through? Like, were we looking forward to this one?
It matters what plan B is. Obviously, something came into play that made them move away from this fight because Manny works with the PBC. Rolly Romero is one of Val Heyman's fighters. You'd think it would have been kind of an easy fight to make. Plus, they have a plan with Manny, right? If Manny wins, he like immediately takes on another PBC fighter and another potential PBC fighter in Ryan Garcia if Ryan was to beat Barrios. So it's like a you get a mini career out of Manny Pacquiao if you're the PBC, right? So you would think they would have all the reason to make this fight move forward, um, but it didn't for whatever reason. This is actually the second fight that's fallen out with Manny um, under Al, because he was supposed to fight Barrios in a rematch, correct? And then they moved on from that.
Oh yeah, that I was just gonna say that because when you said the second time, I was like, wait, that does ring a bell. Another fight fell through. What the fuck was it? And I think you're right. I think it was a rematch with
Uh,
Barrios, and for whatever reason, it didn't come through. It didn't fall through. I mean, it fell through.
Yeah, yeah. So something's going on there. Maybe the final numbers for both of Manny's last few pay-per-views aren't adding up to what Manny thinks he is worth.
Hmm.
I hate always falling back to money, but we know that's what drives the sport, right? We're all
Sure.
bankers when it comes to boxing. So it could be potential that Al's like, dude, you're not even pushing the numbers that you once had, but with the right opponent, his numbers go through the roof. So if that right opponent was to come into the picture, I think that's why they're hanging on to Manny Pacquiao.
Is it a matter of I guess. Well, I guess I'm trying to decide or trying to figure out why the fight isn't going to happen. Um, could it be anything on Roly's side? I know, like I said earlier, he's got that mandatory challenger, but could that be a reason? Could that be the belt? That's one of the things that Manny is looking for. And if the WBA says no, 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 you got a mandatory here, not Manny. It's like if you're going to fight Manny, we're not going to sanction it there. And this is just me trying to piece the puzzle together. Then Manny says, no, fuck it, I'm not going to fight if the belt's not going to be on the line. Is that plausible?
I mean, what we have to look at are the options for Rolly Romero, right? And when we look at the options, we already know that Barrios is fighting Ryan Garcia. So that takes those two guys off the table. We know that Brian Norman just took a defeat to Devin Haney. That takes Brian Norman off the table. Devin Haney and the Zone Match Room have showed interest in fighting the IBF
Oh, that's right.
champion, right? So that kind of takes them off the table. He's not really got a lot of options left. I don't think it was really Rolly Romero that pulled out of this fight. I'm going to say that it's either the money wasn't agreed upon between Manny and the company, or another option came into the picture, and so those are the only two things I think knocked it off. I don't really think Rolly has a say. Rolly's just happy he has that WBA title and is going to make $1 million. He doesn't know against who, but he's there to make it, and he'll be throwing some big punches to try to knock your ass out with. That's what Rolly brings to the table, and he knows that.
Mm. Yeah. And it's funny. I figured this would have been like a money maker, right? Like you said, there's a possibility that maybe Manny's previous fights didn't do the numbers that maybe they're hoping, and therefore the money situation isn't agreed upon for this fight with Rolly. But Roly talks, he's got a trash mouth. Yeah, he doesn't try or talk as much trash as he used to. But I mean, leading up to that fight with Pitbull Cruz, he was being, putting on funny fucking clips and stuff. And I have to assume that would be the same case with this one. With Manny and Barrios, they just showed a lot of like mutual respect and not a lot of trash talking or anything. So maybe that was one of the reasons why there wasn't that much public appeal, I guess, or like broad appeal. But we figured Rolly will be talking a lot of smack, right? And that would definitely make things much more interesting.
Let's backtrack here. Let's
Yeah.
throw a what if. What if Devin Haney's not offered 16 million to face the IBF champ? Do you think it's possible Devin Haney and Rolly Romero make more money in a unification match for Riyadh, right? His
Mm.
Excellency would be a part. He likes to be a part of it. Than a Pacquiao versus Rolly Romero fight.
So Devin and Rolly possibly making more money or could make more money than Rolly and Manny.
Yeah, that's the only other
Oh,
option I could think Rolly Romero has on the table.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, I've even heard Rolly Romero himself saying he doesn't want to fight Devin because of how boring Devin is and yada yada yada. Like, doing that dumb bullshit. Like, um, eh, just BS.
If the number's good enough, we know he's gonna take it though.
Mm, mm. Damn, I don't know. I would think that fight. Oh man, that's tough because Manny is Manny, and he doesn't have. I know that at his age right now, he doesn't have the same superstardom as he did at one time. He still has some, of course, but considering what Devin Haney did with Ryan and the popularity that he has to some degree, and then Rolly Romero with whatever popularity he has beating Ryan. I think that might make some more money actually. Yeah, I think more than Manny and Raleigh. I think so.
So they have that. Then they have that on the. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, go ahead. I was just drinking my water. Go ahead.
Oh, I think that's potential. Then the other option they would have is that Devin is got a little pushback on Matchroom with the I forget the young man's name that has the IBF title from over there across the pond.
Crocker, something Crocker. I forget the first name, but I think the last name is Crocker. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then it really does build up a hell of a fight for the winner of Barrios versus Garcia. I mean, you'll come out probably with a true welterweight undisputed champ that night if you get all three belts on one guy and all you have left is some dude named Crocker out in the UK. He'll be next, but it'll be like America versus Venezuela this week. You know what I mean? 3 minutes and we're out of there.
Yeah, it'll be.
I was gonna bring it up once, Miguel.
Did you notice when he was captured, those videos or those clips of those pictures have Maduro like wearing fucking like some sort of Nike outfit, like jumpsuit? Have you noticed that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody let him borrow it. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't wearing that. Who the hell knows? But it's funny because you think back to that clip where he's on that, when he's being broadcasted eating that empanada, while the rest of the country is fucking starving and shit like that. It would be fitting if that outfit was really his. It's like, all right, hold on, I'll get arrested, but I gotta look cool while I get arrested. I gotta wear my Nike outfit that was made in this country for $4, but I bought for 120.
Well, did you see the Somali daycare worker with the $4,000 glasses on the other day?
Yes, I saw that as well. Yeah.
I mean, come on, bro. Like, in the mob, you get whacked for that shit, right? You never watch Goodfellas? Remember when the guy brings the fucking the fur coats,
the Cadillac or whatever? Yeah,
the pink Cadillac.
The Cadillac. It's like, hey, what's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? Like, what the fuck? What's the matter with you? Gotta come talk to you.
He came to a press conference for fraud with $4,000 glasses. What the fuck, man?
He's gonna show up. He's gonna show up with one of those fucking like AJ fucking chains, those showing up like at the press conference, and this motherfucker is like, "Hey, what's going on?" It's like, "What? I thought I fainted." Like, no, take that shit off, motherfucker. Take that off. Like, I can't see. These are my own glasses. My own glasses. Come on, I brought them.
Good insurance.
Yeah, right. Great insurance. Well, we're over here, kicking off the new year with our fucking, racking up cards from the fucking.
I didn't mean to throw us off, dude. But yes, I think
we have yet to have one thing to talk about that wasn't on this show. We needed something because there's other stuff going on, and we know damn well that everybody watches this, watch that too.
Yeah. So no, definitely, it could be Devin Haney. Devin Haney might be the cash cow right now, sitting at 147 until we see what happens with Ryan's career. But Ryan's looking a lot more like Julio Cesar Chavez than he is Canelo these days. I'll tell you that.
Junior,
yes, of course. Sorry, clear that the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. Not senior by no stretch. Even senior now, it still looks more disciplined than his fucking kid. Hitting the fucking bag. See him running laps and shit outside while his son is inside eating corn pops. All right. So. The second part of the story, you mentioned it earlier, right? Maybe something else better came along. Who could that be, Andrew? I don't know. Could it be that somebody is hinting at a comeback? Maybe one Floyd Mayweather Jr.? TMZ Sports reports when asked about a comeback, it's on the table. It's been talks. Floyd, please get yourself a publicist so you can say this shit properly. There have been talks, is what he's trying to say. We've been talking about it. There's many other ways to say it, Floyd. Please, at this point, you should be able to I get the point across without this weird, it's been talks, yo. He says it's possible. We just don't know. But as of right now, everything is going great. I feel good. Working hard each and every day. I can't wait for 2026. Of course, he dodges it a little bit, saying hard work, dedication, right? Whatever the fuck he says, throwing those motherfuckers in there. But you're thinking, oh, okay. Well, we know that we've heard, I should say, the rumor of a possible fight or exhibition fight with Mike Tyson in Africa somewhere. I don't know. I haven't heard any recent developments on that. But it looks like we might get Floyd back. Could that be one of the reasons? Now, this might be a three-part story because there's even a second part to this one. But before we get to that part, or maybe I should already jump into it. I don't know. How could this be one of the reasons why we're getting, Manny and pulling out, or not, maybe not coming to an agreement with the numbers, because there is a possibility that one Floyd Mayweather is going bankrupt. What the hell? Let me go ahead and read this real quick from Pound for Pound Press. This is an Instagram account. Business Insider's latest Business Insider, right? Their latest Floyd Mayweather report paints a grim picture of the undefeated boxer who is reportedly $54 million in debt, with foreclosures and lawsuits starting to add up. The outlet claims, in quote, in the last 18 months, two of Mayweather's commercial properties have been foreclosed. He is at risk of losing a Las Vegas building that houses his strip club girl collection, over $52,000 in back property taxes and penalties. Mayweather has been accused in lawsuits of failing to pay millions of dollars of luxury items, jewelry, I'm sure, including watches, high-end jewelry. Allegations that he has disputed. Mayweather has been pursued by creditors over Air Mayweather, the Gulfstream jet that's been one of the symbols of mega wealth. In December, FAA records show he had sold the plane, and he sold his mansions in Beverly Hills and Miami to two of his real estate partners, selling off assets to get liquid cash. Wow. All right. Well, maybe somebody's planning to come back against Manny Pacquiao, because he's kind of in serious trouble, at least debt wise. Wow. Well, that definitely puts a different spin on the situation, right? I can see why, Manny maybe wasn't, his numbers weren't adding up with, the negotiations with Roly, saying, you know what, I think I can get a lot more over here with this guy who's planning to make a comeback. I would have thought that maybe if we were to have seen a Mayweather and Pacquiao rematch, considering, that Floyd won the first one, that it would be Manny who's kind of concedes to being the B side. Like, all right, cool, I'm in the B side, I'll take less money. I don't know if he's willing to do that now. Now it's kind of like, no, no, no. Now you need me more than I need you, homie. You're the fucking B side. I don't know. I'm just throwing numbers out there. But anyway, wow, right? So Manny can't come to an agreement to fight Roly. Maybe there's a better option out there. See Floyd Mayweather saying he wants to make a comeback, and we kind of see why now, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a coincidence on why these two stories drop back to back. Floyd dropping his first about the comeback. I think his team caught wind. I don't know if they get informed, if they get emailed or whatever, get some kind of information about, hey, we got a story coming back on you next week. This is what it is. And so they at least got a heads up that they have something coming out on them in a negative light. Look, Floyd's had lawyers his whole career. You'd think if this story was a lie, we would already see a lawsuit out on Business Insider. So because we haven't seen that, we have to suspect where there's smoke, there's fire. And I mean, really, has Floyd, as far as I can remember, Floyd Mayweather has always given us the bullshit answer about not needing to come back. He's rich as fuck. He doesn't need any money. He's got money making money, blah, 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 right? Yet on this interview, all of a sudden it's, oh yeah, it's on the table. Yeah, we're looking at it. I mean, come on, this is the close. I think this is the closest we've ever been to having Floyd actually say he's returning. With that Business Insider dropping that story, I got to think that this is a real story that he is coming back. Manny Pacquiao is an absolute great opponent for him to come back to because they're kind of in the same boat still. Yes, Manny's probably got a little bit of advantage being somewhat more active in the last few years, but Floyd has had a bunch of exhibition fights where he's at least hitting pads, hitting the speed bag, doing jump ropes, putting on a show. He was still doing the show part of boxing, which kept him a little bit in shape. So I think Manny's a great fucking comeback fight. And I mean, if they can get this thing on Netflix, and we're talking about 91 countries having Anthony Joshua number top 10 and 40 million, 100 million. Why do you know what Manny and Floyd are about to do to these stats? A free fight. The return to Floyd is a free fight versus Pacquiao.
Dude, that would be fucking insane. That would be crazy numbers. I like that would be Allegiant Stadium. That definitely would be Allegiant Stadium on I mean, hell, we can do it as soon as Cinco de Mayo weekend. Can you imagine that shit? That would be fucking crazy, or whenever. I mean, but I'm just throwing that out there because we were talking about April or May or earlier, but that would do killer fucking numbers. Who wouldn't want to see that? And now I know the first time they kind of laid an egg, right? So I mean, maybe there's a little bit of hesitation there, but at this point, this far into their careers, or this far as age goes, Manny definitely has a much better shot at cracking him. Right, he's been more active. I don't, and mind you, in that first fight, or the only fight with Manny and Floyd. Floyd got stuck a few times. He got hit, and you can see it. He was hurt. It wasn't like, he was trying to play it off, but it wasn't like he was just able to shake that shit off. Like some of those fucking punches sent him to the ropes, like, oh shit, and they weren't hard punches. I mean, hard enough to where, the kind of left hand that we expect from Manny, it was very like counter, it was a counter fucking shot over the jab. And it's like, oh shit, even those punches stun him. At this point in his career, maybe Floyd can take the punches that he used to be able to take. And we know, what we hear often, right, that power is the last thing that a fighter loses. So if Manny still has that pop, that definitely makes for a much more interesting fight and different than their first one fucking 11 years ago now at this point.
If I'm Floyd, I will not take a 1-fight deal, though. I'm looking for a 3-fight deal for $1 billion.
Floyd, are you listening? Wow. So 3-fight deal. You're talking different fighters, or all three, like 3 with Manny, or is that too much? So we're talking about 3 different.
Oh no, it'd be three different fighters. Okay. Yeah, because I mean, you have to throw the winner of the welterweight. If he's fighting at welterweight still, whoever has those 3 belts is going to do one of the fights with Floyd, and then possibly maybe he moves up at that time. There will be someone solidified at 154 you could do a major fight with, but. Yeah, if I'm Floyd, I'm looking for a huge deal, not just, let's do this 1 fight at a time. You don't have, we need one big deal to pay off some debt and to put some money in the saving account. And then anything that happens, those 3 fights happens, But yeah, I'm definitely looking for a little bit bigger than 1. And the money's there. I think they do 500 million on fight number 1, dude.
Damn. I was just going to ask you that. Do you think Floyd is smart enough to go that direction? I know wherever the money goes is where, he'll go wherever the money goes, I should say. So if he sees then the money that could be made in 3 fights, then maybe he'll go that direction. But do you think he's thinking that far ahead, or is it just like, oh shit, I'm kind of desperate, I need to get this shit paid off? If it's 1 fight, it's 1 fight, whatever. Do you think he has that kind of foresight to think 3 fights, or no, I just 1 and done. I need some money right now and to bail me out, and I'll be fine?
If he does 1 and done, that would be foolish, because he's not gonna be this superior athlete forever, right? And it might not even be in this run that he's a superior athlete. Manny might knock him out in fight number 1. Now his whole empire's fucking crushed, right? So let's get some guaranteed money out of this 3-fight deal, and then try to win the 3 fights, or if you don't win it, at least the money's already in the bank. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm coming from the perspective that Floyd is damn near almost 50, and he doesn't have negotiating power like that. You have this one comeback, right?
Mhm.
Let Turkey decide everything else. Maybe he puts you on 2 warm-up fights, which I wouldn't be disagree with. If they were to come out and go, you know what, we're going to do Manny Pacquiao, and then we're going to do is that Roly Romero or some shit like that, I wouldn't be mad about that. You know, Floyd deserves to have 2 fights. Then do a big major showdown with some guy at the end, Devin Haney or something. Whoever wins, watch it's Roly Romero, but whoever wins out of this
Right.
little belt run that we have going on here at the welterweight division. And then have, you know, either Floyd becomes the king of the welterweights again, you got to do another 3-fight, $1 billion deal, or he finally loses and we move on with the new king of the undisputed welterweight division.
Roly Romero. No, okay.
That would be dude.
Wouldn't that be some shit?
Can't say boxing's fixed if he comes out the leader at the end, bro.
Yeah, it's like Roly. You know, you're the king of the welterweights now. It's like, no, I didn't. Am I the king of? That's my Roly impersonation. Oh, Roly.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. I knew it was coming. Go ahead, spit it out.
What? No, I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Yeah. Otherwise, he won't give me an interview because the guy lives here. So next time I see him. Oh, side note, guys. I do intend to go to the Murataya and Cruz fight that's going to happen at Fontainebleau here at the end of this month. So if they have some sort of media workouts or some sort of like media events, I do intend to go to those. So make sure to keep your eyes peeled on our YouTube channel, because I will be having some sort of footage, some sort of reports or something or other, so you guys can catch that. Usually it's like gym stuff, right? So keep your eyes peeled for that. And then of course, oh yes,
I got one more thing though.
by all means.
Do you think his career is a Rocky-like movie? If he does go bankrupt, is this good enough for the movies? Because I mean, Miguel, have we ever seen a $1 billion athlete lose it all?
Well, I mean, my dad has this saying. He says, "Larger empires have fallen." Of course, that's a different story. We're talking about an athlete that makes a fuck ton of money or has made a fuck ton of money.
Billion.
So, $1 billion, yeah.
Right? Isn't that his little bullshit he always throws on the internet? First athlete to reach $1 billion, or was it boxer? Because maybe Jordan reached $1 billion. But you know what I'm saying? He always puts that on the online.
Yeah. I've never heard of it. I mean, number one, there aren't many that have ever reached that, at least boxing, right? So the one that does and ends up going bankrupt, it's not out of the realm of possibility, obviously, because we're reading what we're reading. But sometimes too much money is just too much money. Sometimes it's just when there's so much, and maybe it's just bad deals, hard to keep track of everything. Sometimes that shit happens. So if I've never heard of it, but we might be hearing about it now.
It's almost he's gonna write the story, the ending to his story on this. I really think that it's interesting. He has enough of a fan base that want to see him lose that I think the movie does great numbers because he loses. Right? We get to see him make all this money. Then he's going to be really stupid and spend it all. Yeah, I told you he was fucking dumb. Look how dumb he is, right? You're going to have all those fans in those movie theaters doing that. And if his comeback isn't successful, well, then they get to cheer again. And I think he makes more money on that, on him losing again. So, he gets to write the ending to his own story, and I think it might be Hollywood because we've never seen it. This man had everything. He had absolutely fucking everything, and was able to lose it all before you're 50. This is insane.
Right.
Disease. You have a disease in spending at that point. They say $1 billion. They say $1 billion, Miguel. You're not supposed to spend in one lifetime, bro. How the fuck did Floyd go through that much money?
Yeah, that's a trip that I mean, I guess maybe he's asking himself that same question. Like how the hell did I get through all this fucking money? Yeah, you think these cars and these the jewelry and the houses, that will spend a lot, but even with that, $1 billion is a lot of fucking money. You know what I'm saying? It's like that a B. There's a B there. Um, for him to have gone through all of that, he must have fucked up a lot. Like, hey, no, we can't spend his money on this, rental property. I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm fucking Floyd Mayweather and do it anyway. It's like, dude, you're gonna lose a lot of money. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do it anyway. It has to be that because I mean, would 50 Cent be the director of his movie to
He
get
might be.
a good way? Oh man,
Don't let him get the information on Floyd, or he might be. His Diddy Netflix is doing great, right? Yeah, and
that's
yeah,
where
that's
I was headed.
actually yeah. You actually brought up a good fucking idea there. It might be 50 that does the Floyd movie. It really will. He is a troll like that. Yeah.
And we know that the beef that they had, right? I don't think was that ever resolved. Was ever because they were cool for a while, and I kind of get and the 50 has talked about it too, right? It's just like you're dealing, you're trying to figure out this smart business deal, and you're just talking to a brick fucking wall when it all comes to Floyd, because who the hell tells him no? He thinks he's Turkey or something. I don't know, but have they squashed their beef? Are they cool now? Do you know of anything like that? Have they Floyd and
Oh
50 and
no,
Shane?
I absolutely don't think they're on good terms still. No, what didn't I think 50 took his girl, dude?
Oh gosh, are you serious?
Remember that Miss Jackson? Yeah, the girl that was on his the girl that is at his house when he goes to jail. Remember when Floyd departs to jail, he's got a female I think her name was Miss Jackson, isn't that they all called her? And 50 Cent started dating her while he was in jail.
Yeah. Add insult to injury. Why not just throw more
Oh,
fucking salt into the wound?
yeah, that was the rumor. I want to say he did. He took his girl. You have to look that up, but I believe that's how that friendship ended.
Damn. So we're gonna get a 50. No, we're gonna get a Floyd Mayweather documentary on Netflix. Oh man,
It's
that's tricky.
either
But
it's either going to be a fucking one of the greatest athlete comeback stories of all time, because I truly do think he's going to pull a Michael Jackson here and lose $1 billion and then make $1 billion immediately. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah, yeah.
Michael almost did it twice, but I think he dies before his last tour goes
Mhm.
off. Um, but Floyd could do that in this, so he has a possibility of either writing the greatest comeback story or the greatest fall in sports history. Because, like you just said, I think it's just him and Jordan now. Ronaldo and them might be there now, because I do think Ronaldo, the
Mm,
soccer player, Cristiano
yeah.
Ronaldo, just made $1 billion. He just made it to that level. So there are other guys that get it there, but yeah, Floyd is either going to be the biggest fall or the biggest comeback. Crazy.
Oh man,
Damn.
and I suspect it won't be the greatest comeback. I
Oh
don't think.
shit.
I just don't think so. It's just, I mean, I don't know. Like, is it how many chances? Like that's what I'm trying to say. For him to have lost that much money, he had to have fucked up a lot, right? You would
Oh
think
yeah,
he would have
dude.
made a lot of bad decisions. You you can't change those kind of patterns. Like if this isn't enough of a wake up call to be like, yo, listen to other people when they tell you don't do this shit. Much more, and not listen to everybody necessarily. I'm not saying that, but the people who are in the know, people who know more than you in XYZ topic, don't go in those directions and just spend a fuck ton of money thinking you're gonna make a fuck ton out of some rental property or some shit or jewelry or whatever. It's like, dude, enough of that already. You're fucking 50. You don't have to have $17 million watch around your fucking wrist at this point. And you see the people that make a lot of money, right? Was it the Elons and whatnot? They're not blinging. It's like you don't do that shit. You need to learn from those fucking people. But I just don't see it in him. I don't see it in him. If he lost this amount of money, it's because he's fucked up a lot, and that's a pattern. I don't think, like you said, it's a disease. I don't think he's gonna be able to turn it around here.
Yeah, his addiction to cars hit him pretty hard. The jewelry, I mean, gold. Obviously, you can invest in the gold all you want, but the customized watches, You know, probably not big on the resale. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're gonna make your millions back, but are you gonna make the 18 million that you put into it? You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows if that money ever turns around the same? So it's all just a loss, loss, loss everywhere he turned, everything that he invested in. I think one thing that's going to be huge in this movie, if Floyd was to release it, is his gambling issue, because we all
Yeah.
know that Floyd Mayweather was gambling millions of dollars at a time, probably worse than Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan and them ever did. You know, so that's going to be one of his biggest outlets of losing money is his gambling addiction, his addiction to cars, his addictions to mansions. I mean, the guy had, I want to say at one time he had 3 mansions that he said had 6 luxury cars each. I mean, do you know what the taxes are on these fucking things that he's paying for every year? The insurance that he's paying for on these things every year. We said it many times. He tried to live like a Saudi prince with no kind of Saudi money. You know what I mean? You had oil money for like a decade. Those people had oil money for centuries. Like, the fuck
Yeah.
are you doing
For
here?
generations.
Yes. Hey, like, what are we doing here, man?
Yeah, I don't know, and you know, it's funny when I talk in this quick Instagram post, it talked about a plane that Floyd had. Like, I don't think people realize how much extra money there is involved in maintenance of a fucking plane, in the fuel. I like when you see people who have
Housing.
enough money. Yeah,
Housing.
housing, right? How much more? I mean, even the cars that he has, right? Like the I don't know, the oil changes, you know, whatever shit like that. It's I don't I've watched so many, you know, like, well, not so many, but a few like narco documentaries, and how many of these guys, of these drug dealers who purchase horses, right? And they have horses, but like, to feed them, to house them, to fucking, you know, maintain them, like, fuck, that's a lot more. I don't know if they pay. Something tells me I don't think Floyd realized that until, and so, like, no, don't buy a fucking plane, Floyd. Fuck you, you know. Boom, boom, boom. Like, I don't know what else to tell you at this point, but that's when I see that. I mean, when I hear about that, I have to assume that he's not going to be able to get out of this one. He'll make the attempt, though. He'll make the attempt. It would be in his best interest to try to do some sort of 3-fight deal or something, but whether or not he does or doesn't, I don't know.
We're gonna end the movie of him just making the 3-fight deal. What
Yeah.
he does with that $1 billion, it will be for part 2. Right? That's shit.
Yeah, if there is ever a sequel, it's just going to be like,
Hopefully he bought all of his kids a home. If I was Floyd, before the bankrupt report comes out, I would start posting about, stop posting about your private jets and post how many homes your kids right now live in because of you. Post how many college degrees your kids have hanging on their walls because of you, right? The best schools in America they graduated from because of you. Make those posts, because if you don't have any of those, you surely did fuck this all up. You
right.
really did.
And I'm leaning towards he probably did fuck it up, and none of these fucking kids. I mean, like, so I guess that's a very big.
His daughter, I think, went to prison, dude.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he had to go bail her out. That's kind of the thing, though. Like, I have to assume that he busted his ass to make all this money, so he can say, "You don't have to ever work, sweetheart," or son, you don't have to work. Instead of teaching him the work ethic, right? It's like, well, the money comes from pops. Here's the fucking money. You don't have to go to college. I didn't go to college. Look at me, I'm a billionaire. Like, well, you're a professional boxer, or were at least. So clearly the money came from somewhere. If you don't anticipate going to college to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever the fuck, you kind of have to do something and not just depend on the money that your pops is gonna bring in, because that's gonna run out too. The point is to make money yourself.
And not only that, Miguel, the dreams are endless as a young child, right? He could have put his kids into anything. You want to be a fucking astronaut? We could start training today. Like, I could go get the teachers. I could put you in fucking NASA school. What do you want me to do? What do you want to do? Just not it be just a singer or something out of it. We're getting out of the entertainment business. You want to be a heart surgeon? You want to be a neurologist? What do you want to do? I'll give you all of that, right?
But that takes work.
I know. I know.
That takes a lot of work, a lot of, and that's not to say that these kids aren't smart, but I was gonna say it takes a lot of smarts. You have to kind of have a gift for some shit like that. It's the Chavez Jr. effect, you know. It's like why? His pops, the checks clears when his dad, is in the house. It's that. It's like you want to get. I don't it's they're stuck at that high setting. We have this cool house, whatever the fuck. I want to be a rock star. I don't want to have to fucking go on work and do, be, I don't know, an engineer for NASA or some shit like that. It's like that takes work, right? It's not going to make you gazillions of dollars like it would make you if you were some sort of pop star, but and the fame, of course, they won't come with that as well. But yeah, man, I don't anticipate there's going to be a lot of degrees on
It's
their walls.
all they're gonna show us is a closet and a jewelry box.
With a towel on top of it with embroidered like
Look
TBE
at
or something.
what is my what is the good what's a good bag? I was gonna say Dookie bag, but that is not it. What's the good work
Dooney
in
and
the
Burke. Dooney
yeah,
and
Dooney
Burke
and Burke had a Dookie bag.
it might as well be. It might as well be because there's where all your fucking money went down the toilet, Mr.
No.
Dookie. Oh man. Well, on to the next topic, which is someone else throwing a fucking career down the line. Ryan Garcia is back in the news. Well, not in the news per se, but boxing news. Um, you know, when we heard or read that he was splitting from Terry James and being trained by his pops, we kind of, well, I mean, let's say Andrew kind of like hit the nail right on the head, saying like we can anticipate a lot more of these kinds of posts on his social media accounts and really not taking the fight with Barrios very seriously. And that seems to be the direction that we're going here because every single one of these fucking posts that we are seeing from Ryan Garcia um, have been just a joke. The one where he's throwing these like left hooks, right? I don't know who's holding the pad here. It doesn't specify, but he's throwing those left hooks, the ones that that he fucked Haney with, right? That's the caption at least. And he's just in his house without a shirt. Just people watching. They have I forget the Cobra bag, right? It has one of them right nearby, and he's just throwing left hooks. Like that's it. That's it. Now again, social media is just social media. People are not going to post their difficulties there. They post the highlights, right? So maybe behind the scenes, Andrew, he is putting in the work in the gym and he's doing the hard work, and we're just not seeing it. Or maybe he's not, and he's just trying to show that he is working hard when in fact behind the scenes he is not. Which do you think is more the likely scenario?
Man, listen, gonna be the latter one. Seriously.
Mm.
Um, I I called it whatever you want to say on that one. Yes, because he had already put out interviews about wanting to convert back to the Devin Haney training
Mhm.
methods because the ones with Roly didn't work and he was boring and he wasn't into the fight. But this is on a whole nother level because I mean the guy is look, not only is he not really training for a fight, his technique is the same technique that got him his last two defeats. The hands are coming down when he's bringing them back. He's relying just on the left hook. Um, Sparring fucking YouTubers. Like the dude literally put out a tape of him sparring some average person the other night in
Yeah,
his living room.
and some chick, they were just
Yeah,
like throwing down. Yeah.
it's 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 looking bad for Garcia, and it's sad. Now, with that being said, anyone can say what they want about, oh, yeah, well, he did that with Haney and won. He won with Haney 3 pounds overweight and a failed drug test. So we really can't say, oh, he got away with it with Haney, because he really didn't. One, it's not even a win anymore on the column, right?
Mhm.
And two, he was overweight and he was on some kind of supplement. So there is no he got away with it. He didn't get away with shit. That method didn't work, and it's not going to work this time. And I hope Barrios and Guzin are watching this young man, and they bring it to him in round one, because while he's going to have his speed, it's basically only going to be one punch. You really just got to train for one punch with Ryan. stay heavy on the pressure, and I think Ryan folds quick in this fight because he will not be prepared to go to 12. He might look good. He might know how to keep a six pack on and keep all his muscles and look toned. And oh, the kid loves taking modeling shots right now. He's definitely a Instagram model too at this point. But that doesn't get you in fighting condition. And as long as Barrios is in fighting condition and can bring it from round 1 to 12, which we know that's what Guzin trains for, Mario Barrios by knockout in this fight. Because we get the TKO, we get the little. I wouldn't be surprised you see him quit. Don't be surprised you see him quit because
to that degree, huh?
Oh yes, because one, he thinks he's an Instagram model. I totally see a Victor Ortiz meltdown where I don't need this, right, coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, like I don't think he can hit like this. Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally see that kind of moment coming from Ryan, especially how vulnerable he is right now with the whole, and not vulnerable might not even be the right word. Successful he is on YouTube, and then with the YouTubers, he might already be planning his career after boxing, bro. Put the heat on him, watch him fold in his own corner.
Yeah, and it's we're seeing that that Chavez Jr. type of I don't know, work ethic. I don't know. You see him, hitting pads. He's always in his house. He's never like at the actual fucking gym. Even I have to assume with the
kind of one.
Oh,
I got one for you. No, because you said that. Did you see the one where his dad looks upset? I sent it to you. I wanted to talk about it. His dad has like his arms folded, and he kind of got a little like a mug on his face. Ryan is bedhead, dude. Ryan just got up from sleeping.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
You know his dad was like, fuck you. You haven't been working out. Get your ass up now and go out there, which is the living room, you guys, which is pathetic. But go out there and do something. So he gets up, he's all pissed off like a little boy throwing all those fucking hard punches, and they try to frame it as, ooh, power shots. Bullshit. It looked like one was mad. It looked like both of the trainer and the fighter were mad at each other, probably over training and sleeping in. Bedhead, get the fuck out of here.
I did see that, and for a quick couple of seconds, you see his dad in the background, and he's got his arms crossed, but he even throws a couple of quick little claps, right? Like, yeah, as if he's, I don't know, man. It's almost like I'm thinking it's sort of like what you said, but it's more like, Ryan, get up. Your followers are waiting for a fucking video. Get up and throw some shots so you can put some more videos on your damn social media. Like it's one of those. Like, but Dad, I don't want to sleep in. It's like, no, you have people waiting for you. You have to, people are depending on your content. You have to go out and throw some shots, okay? You don't have to go to the gym, son. You have to go to the gym. He's a rich motherfucker.
Yeah,
he has. Why doesn't he have a gym in his fucking house? Go to the gym at least. Not your fucking living room with a marble floor. Go to the fucking gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the equipment in your fucking gym. I have to assume so. Everybody has that. But yeah, it's just that. And then, we hear that Ryan only has a few more fights left with Oscar anyway. So whatever influence Oscar might have, good influence might have on him, like, dude, get your fucking head in the game. Step away from the, social media antics and stuff like that, and get serious for Barrios. That might be out the window, very soon. And not necessarily against Barrios, but just in general. I don't know. I see some of these videos and I'm like, man, it's his fucking house. It's his living room, for Christ's sakes. Throwing these shots in here, and it just looks more and more as if he's just spiraling out of control, and there's nobody around him to kind of like check him. And it's looking like we might see that kind of meltdown like you're talking about in the ring against Barrios. If Barrios can fucking put it on him, because we see what happened with Manny, right? Maybe he just had a little bit too much respect for Manny, whatever that was, but he didn't throw his hands enough, and for as little as Barrios did, he still got a draw. Had he had done a little bit more, he could have maybe gotten a win over Manny Pacquiao, which is a legend. I hope that he, goes back and sees that fight with Manny and says, fuck, I could have just done a little bit more. You can, especially with Ryan. Look at Ryan's, fight with Roly. He didn't do that much either, and Roly did a little bit more, and he fucking beat him with that. So I would hope that Barrio sees that and goes balls to the wall and says, let me jump on this motherfucker ASAP. Go ahead.
With that, I would say, one, he has Joe Guzin to talk him into a certain mentality for the fight, to train him to be a certain character, to have a certain attitude when you go in, to have him with the confidence that you're just better than this fucking douchebag across the ring. I worked with that kid. He's a fucking douchebag. You're going to take him out on this night. Right hand stays high. Fucking stay heavy on the pressure, right? Because that's all he's throwing is that left, dude. That's all he's throwing. The right hand didn't even look that great when he did throw it against Roly. Like, he looked so one-dimensional in that fight. With the way he's looking right now, training right now, no, if I'm Guzan, I'm mentally preparing Barrios to take it to this kid. Barrios must respond because he's not fighting a fucking legend. Manny's a legend, right? Manny, you got to give some respect to. Ryan has shown us nothing to give him respect. So let's take it to him, take it to him, take it to him.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Manny came with that aura of like, oh shit, that legend aura, and maybe to some degree that kind of made Barrios kind of freeze a little bit, like, oh shit, this guy's a fucking star. Like, this is like one of the idols that I looked up to growing up. You won't have that with with Ryan, right? It's like, nah, this fucker's my peer. He's on the same level as me, even fucking below, because I at least hold the belt, at some weight class, and Ryan has never even done that. I mean, barring some silver belt that he had at lightweight or some shit like that. But yeah, I guess that would make sense, right? If it's not, and that additional boost of confidence with Guzan in his corner, in his ear, saying, dude, I've seen this fucker train. He doesn't take this shit seriously. You can totally fuck him up. Damn, that'd be pretty tight. That'd be good info there. Hoping to see more out of Barrios in that fight, and man, I just, every time I see these posts from Ryan, I'm like, I hate it. It sucks that this is the how we're talking about him, right? It's like, it's not him in the gym, putting in serious work. It's these stupid ass videos that he posts on here. And that one video that you sent me where like was that his chick or his wife? The one that he was asking about, like, who's your favorite streamer or something like that? And he's like, well, you, I guess I don't have any streamers. Like I'm like, yes, homie, yes. Everybody fucking looks at you like a damn streamer, not an actual boxer.
That was his wife. The last I heard, she sent him divorce papers in December, right before Christmas. I have not confirmed if it's real or not. All I'm saying is that she's supposedly out of the picture, and I haven't seen her in a video since I seen that she handed him divorce papers. I actually seen a video of Ryan breaking down about it on a stream. So I don't know if it's real or not, but I have not seen his wife since then. With that being said, that's just more bullshit on top of bullshit, right? If he really is going through a divorce because there's a kid involved, that means there's not child support, but what is it when you get time with your kid?
Like visitation.
Visitation, yes, exactly. You got to deal with all that, right? Lawyers and everything else being involved. So just more drama on top of Ryan. And in December, Miguel, we were kind of counting the weeks, like, oh, they have this many weeks, they're going to be fine, he can get into the gym. Dude, it's January 4th now, so at some point, Ryan's got to at least show a gym somewhere in his timeline.
Right. I don't give a fuck if it's in your own house, homie, as long as you have a gym in there.
Yeah, a ring, some real jump rope, some real, a speed bag. Look, that Cobra bag thing, dude, I swear, I think Ryan's going to be doing that at some fair when he's like in his 40s, bro. Like, they're going to be like, man, Ryan, do you guys remember Ryan Garcia? He's like, put up the Cobra bag, remember this? Whack, whack, same left hook, same punch. Like, bro, we're so over that. You were fucking a child when you first put that video online. Like, we get it. You're really good at the Cobra bag. You're really good at the bag that doesn't punch back. We all get it, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna see the same shit that he does where he closes his eyes like that shit. I to this point, I still don't understand why he does that. I don't know. That's a bad habit that he never broke, I suppose. But that that bullshit.
He'll be the trainer of some, like, what's one of those fitness gyms? It won't even be like a real boxing gym. It's gonna be a fucking fitness gym for YouTubers, bro.
Be like a UFC gym. It's gonna be one of those. One of those guys. It's like you can sign up right here. He's gonna be signing up people for fucking memberships. Oh, Ryan.
He never won a world title, but he fought for many. Fuck.
Yeah. Do you remember that fight with Gervonta? 1.4 million pay-per-view buys. Come on. Come on. It's like, Ryan, that was like 10 years ago. It's now 2033. Like, still, I did it. Who else did it around that era without Turkey's help? Oh gosh. But yeah. Oh, this is a perfect time to toss in. I wanted to do this at the beginning of the show, and I'm gonna make sure to do that shit in 2026 to remember to toss in our sponsor, Health Isol, tallow-based products, tallow-based soap, which is what I like to use primarily. Patchouli, lavender is the specific scent that I use. Health Isol, make sure to check them out. If you happen to find anything you like, make sure to use the code MADBoxing10 at checkout and get 10% off of your purchase, or follow the affiliate link that we're going to have in the description of this video. Make sure to give them a try. I'm going to make it a point to bring up Health Isol on at the beginning of our videos, because sometimes at this late, people, if they don't stick around for whatever reason, they don't get to see the advertisement, I guess. So I'm going to make it a point to kick our show off with that before we get started with the majority of our show. So we appreciate you guys if you guys are still sticking around. Okay, one more in here that I wanted to kind of toss in here. Oh, was there anything else you wanted to add before we move on to the next one?
Nope.
So
that was good.
If you guys have heard, when Canelo Alvarez was supposed to be fighting for the vacant IBF title against one Usyk Iglesias, if I can pronounce that properly, and that was supposed to be it, right? He was supposed to fight for the vacant IBF belt at some point in late 2026 after his surgery, but apparently that's not happening now. It seems as though he is going to be recovering from elbow surgery, and it looks like he's not going to be fighting the guy who he was supposed to be fighting. So we don't know if he's going to be he's even going to make it back before September. We assume so. I don't understand why. When I pulled it up here, it just says he's recovering from recent left elbow surgery that he had in October, forcing him to skip the May fight, which makes sense, right? Targeting September 2026, possibly a rematch against Terrence we talked about last week. But I guess he also turned down the potential vacant IBF title fight against this one Usyk, if I can say it right, Iglesias. So I guess we're not going to see that fight. Canelo himself has already said that he's not interested in winning more belts at this point, right? I assume it's because he's just looking for the money fights, which is fine, whatever. But if you have an opportunity to fight for another belt, add another one, hardware is not one that he hasn't already won or anything like that, but why not? It seems like he's going to forego that now. I don't know if it's in lieu of fighting Terrence Crawford in September of 2026. Like I should stop saying 2026 because we're already in 2026, but in September of later this year. But surprising. It kind of surprised me when I read this. I was like, all right, cool. He's now ordered to fight for the IBF belt, and now he won't even do that. Are you surprised, Andrew, that you hear about this? Like, recovering from the elbow surgery. We understand he's not going to fight in May, but now he's not going to fight this dude in September either.
It's possible they looked at the tape and maybe came to the agreement that the champion level isn't for their comeback, right? They want someone lesser than a championship level fighter, and that to me is understandable because of his age. He wants to make sure his muscles, everything's correct that comes out of the surgery, tendons, whatever they worked on. Why would you give it to a lesser champion? Him beat you. Your run is over, and you just gave some guy that really had no business fighting you a shot. Whereas you could go take on a cherry-picked fighter, throw a few. Is it left arm? Do we know which one he's having surgery on?
I don't know. I think it was his left elbow, but let me just double check that real quick. But I don't remember right offhand. Yeah.
Well, you could test your arm with some punches, right? You don't need to test your arm by blocking or by taking shots. You got to test it.
It is his left elbow. Yes, you're right.
All right. So yeah, so you throw a few left hooks, knock the cherry picker out, and then we move on to a bigger fight. So I like that comeback plan way more than a belt right off the top.
All right. And considering that we've heard from Terrence Crawford himself that he has not heard anything from Team Canelo in regards to some sort of rematch, and now it looks like Canelo won't be fighting for the IBF belt in late September. Um, who would he be? Who can we put there in front of him that is going to be that cherry picker type of opponent to kind of get him back in there, test out that elbow, and see if it's okay for a potential, I don't know, May 2027 rematch with Crawford if that even goes that direction. But yeah, who do you think we would throw in there? Who would be like a good cherry picker?
I
Or
don't know.
pick?
You have to pull up the rankings. Yeah, I know he's fought in a few guys that are in the top 10 already, and they might have to go off the ranking charts for that one. You might have to call the good old WBC and have them pull up one of their top 10 guys. You know what I mean? Because he has cleaned up the division a good amount already. So yeah, that really is irrelevant because it could be some nobody, Miguel, that just has a record. You know what I mean? Go to Argentina, get one of those undefeated 29-0-29 guys, then come over here and look like they can't throw a fucking punch if their life fucking depended on it. I always love those dudes, those power punchers that have no power when they get here to America. It was like, he knocked out everybody. What happened?
Yeah, he can hit up Richard Schaefer and his Pro Bellum a fucking promotion and get yourself an opponent because I'm sure he's got plenty of them. It's like, oh yeah, because if you guys remember, we did see Richard Schaefer there at Canelo Crawford, whatever the fuck he was doing there. So hit him up real quick and be like, hey yo, you got an opponent for me? Some homie with undefeated record from Guatemala or something like that. Like fly him over here, get him a visa, make sure he loses, otherwise he won't get his green card. Um, oh my! All right. Well, that is the majority of the topics that I had to talk about. Andrew, was there anything that you wanted to add to this that I missed, or anything else that any story that you want to talk about? Because I was looking at our conversations that we have on Instagram to see what exactly what we intend to talk about on the show, and I pretty much ran through the topics. And there was some boxing last night. Nothing to write home about necessarily, but really besides that, there hasn't been any boxing. There probably won't be any boxing for at least the next few weeks. I'm going to pull up the schedule here. But while I do that, did you have any other topics you want to talk about, Andrew?
No, I don't think I did. Floyd's broke. Yeah, it's Alfimo Lopez. No, I don't see anything on my end.
All right, fair enough. We do have some boxing this weekend. Subriel Matias will be taking on Dalton Smith. It's going to be on it's going to be on pay-per-view, pay-per-view.com. If you guys want to fork up, I don't know, $25-$30 if you guys want to catch that. But there really isn't going to be anything. There's going to be some boxing on, some heavyweight boxing on DAZN if you want to catch that. But really, the next major card we're looking the 16th, which is going to be Gilberto Ramirez against Robin Ciron. That's going to be on DAZN. Hey, Gilberto Ramirez is back, right?
Hey,
why not? I'm down to catch that. What's up?
Shout out to Benavidez. What's Benavidez?
David.
David, Jesus. David, you see his son sparring the other day?
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, Miguel. His son's going to be a rich kid. Probably doesn't have to, will ever have to use it. But at this age, he's learning the competitive nature, right? He's learning the skill. He's crafting his skill. He's learning how to break an opponent down. He doesn't know that he's rich yet. He doesn't know that he's never going to have to work hard in his life as long as his dad invests his right, not like Floyd Mayweather. But as long as everything the cards play right, he's going to be fine. Yet, look at how young he is learning how to fight in there, right? And took some pretty good shots. That kid, his opponent wasn't holding back, man. He was giving him shots to the gut and everything. He didn't cower. He didn't turn his back. He threw punches back. No, I loved everything about that. That's what I like seeing from the professional fighters. Let's not overprotect our boys. You still got to make them men. That's what Benavidez is doing there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Did they go over to the opponent and be like, look, we'll get you a new PS5. Just fucking lay it on him. Lay it on him. Hardcore. Like, he could take it. He could take it. Trust me. Get one of those.
Yeah, they did throw it down. That was pretty good.
All right. Well, that is going to wrap it up for this first edition of 2026. And we intend to keep it going, guys. And I'm sure we'll find some sort of news. And because the holidays are over, we are going to go back to our Sunday and Wednesday shows. So we will see you guys on Wednesday with some sort of news. We'll gather up something and make sure to talk about something, even if it isn't as long as it normally is. But we will be back Wednesday regardless. So that is going to wrap it up for this first edition of 2026 of Mad Boxing. For your co-host, Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapache. I am Miguel Antonio Barragan, a.k.a. Fight Fiend Migs, and this has been the Mad Boxing Show. Thank you, and welcome back for everybody who was. Welcome back. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. Peace.